So now it's the time to listen to Dhamma, words of the Buddha. It's the right time because we have already done meditation, did chanting, and it's the right time so that we can understand Dhamma. Those at the back can come and sit at the front. Aage aa jaiye. Yeah, there is cushion, na? Yeah, please come. पीछे जो है आप आगे आ सकते हैं. Okay. So we gather here every Sunday for chanting, meditation, and listening to Dhamma. These are the three things we do, and this is something very helpful for us to come once in a week to help our mind become peaceful and joyful and have some clarity by listening to Dhamma. And listening to Dhamma is very helpful because it's almost like you can call it Dhammanusati, that is to recollect the Dhamma, to remember, right? Because we have the problem or the nature to forget, right? Our mind forgets, and our mind likes to go back to our old habit pattern, and it's difficult, to be with Dhamma, because as Buddha said, Dhamma is Sharanam. It's a Sharanam, it's a refuge, it's a protection for us. So therefore we need to listen to Dhamma again and again. So today the sutta is the teaching, Baddali Sutta. It comes from a Bhikkhu called Baddali, a monk named Baddali. And at that time Buddha was in Shravasti city, very big city in Buddha's time, and in a monastery called Anathapindika Jetavana, which was donated by a millionaire, in fact billionaire, Anathapindika. He offered that monastery, and he tells the monk, the Buddha tells the monks, because I eat a single session, by doing so I am free from illness and affliction, and I enjoy lightness, strength, and a comfortable abiding. Come, because eat at a single session. By doing so, you too will be free from illness and affliction, and you will enjoy lightness, strength, and a comfortable abiding. Yeah, so what Buddha is saying is that Buddha eats once in a day, right? Only one meal. Wakate bhojanam. One time, 24 hours. So can you do that? Can you just eat one time in a day? Is it possible? Like upasa, right? During Ramzan or during, what do you call that? When the women, they keep for the husband, what it is called? Yes, in Hindu tradition, right? The women, they keep, they don't eat for one day. Shivratri, yes. Yes, so, but for Buddha, it is every day, only one time, one meal, right? Not two. We eat two as a monk, morning some breakfast and then lunch. So as a monk, we are not supposed to eat after noon. So Buddha is telling that if you eat one time, then what will happen? You will be free from illness. You know that phrase, right? 3 meal, 1 meal is yogi, 2 meal is bhogi, 3 meal is rogi. So maybe aware of that, right? So the more you eat, the more illness you will have. And in today's time, it is very much, right? With one button, meal just deliver, in 10 minutes or in, I don't know, even maybe less than that, And you are eating all the time, wrong time, late night, and so much junk and because so much of taste, I like this taste, so I want this food, So what happens if you eat a lot, then a lot of illness. The less you eat, the less ill you get, right? Today we hear a lot about the gut health, right? We hear a lot about everything because of your gut, because of your digestive system. So then you will not have problem, and you feel light, you feel more energetic, strength, you feel more energetic, right? And you have a comfortable abiding, and you are comfortable, you feel good, you feel light, right? So all our monks here, they just eat morning 6:30 breakfast, light, and around 11:30 meal. That's it. No food till next morning breakfast. Do they look healthy? Right? So like that, Buddha suggested them, if you do like that, So when this was said, there was one monk named Badali. So this Badali, he says, whenever, sir, I am not willing to eat at a single session, for if I were to do so, I might have worry and anxiety about it. He says, no, Buddha, I can't, I can't eat. I can't just eat one time because I will have problem. I will have difficulty, Then Badali eat one part where you are invited and bring away one part to eat. By eating in that way, you will maintain yourself. Whenever I say, I'm not willing to eat that way either, for if I would do so. So Buddha said, okay, just like what we do, right? He said, you eat in the morning, just the morning hour, right? Not one time, you can eat 2 times, but you eat like a morning breakfast and then kind of lunch, and that much, you eat. But he said, no, I can't do that. I have to eat 3 times, So he did not listen to Buddha, So Buddha made it a rule, after that he made it a rule to everybody, And so when Buddha made it to everybody, so okay, so now on that occasion, a number of bhikkhus were engaged in making up a robe for the Blessed One, thinking with this robe completed at the end of 3 months of rainy rains, the Blessed One will set out wandering. Then Venerable Badali went to those bhikkhus and exchanged greeting with them. And when this cautious and amiable talk was finished, he sat down to one side. When he had done so, they said, Friend Badali, this robe is being made up for the Blessed One. With his robe completed at the end of the 3 months of rains, the Blessed One will set out wandering. Please, friend Badali, give proper attention to this advice. Do not let it become more difficult for you later. Yes, friend replied, and he went to the Blessed One. After paying homage to him, he sat down to once and said, Venerable, Sir, a transgression overcame me, in that like a fool, confused and blundering, when a training precept was being made known by the Blessed One, when the Sangha of Bhikkhus were undertaking the training, I declare my refusal to the comply. Whenever, sir, may the Blessed One forgive my transgression, sin as such for the sake of restraint in the future. So the 3 month, the entire 3 month, Badali did not, follow this particular rule of food time, eating only one time, or you can say one part of the day, the morning hour. So he did not do that, and then Buddha was now after the 3 months. So as you know, monks, they don't travel during the 3 months of rainy season. They just stay in one place, and after that, the Buddha and monk, they travel. Further. Usually, Buddha he used to travel other time for teaching people, spreading the teaching. So at that time, the monks were preparing the robe for Buddha so that he will travel, right? So at that time, the other monks tells him that, you have to seek forgiveness from the Buddha, because he was not following the Buddha, So he says, he goes to the Buddha and he says, yes, Buddha, I have made a mistake. I did not listen to you. I have been adamant with my view, even though Buddha has, advice. And this is also something very interesting, because even though he is the Buddha, but some monks, they were not very obedient to Buddha, even including Buddha himself. And Buddha was also in some way not, if you look at Buddha also, he was not so much, he was also not frustrated, that one of the student is so much disobedient, even though disobedient, but he was kind of not okay, but he was kind of kind toward him. And of course, this is one of the rule which is a bit minor rule. There are different kinds of rule. Some rules are major rule, some rules are minor rule, right? So the Buddha said, surely, Badali, a transgression overcame you, in that like a fool, confused and blundering, when a training precept was being made known by me, when the Sangha of Bhikkhus was undertaking the training, you declare your refusal to comply. Badali, this circumstance was not recognized by you. The Blessed One is living in Savatthi, and the Blessed One will know me. Thus, the Bhikkhu named Badali is one who does not fulfill the training in the teacher's dispensation. These circumstances was not recognized by you. So Buddha is saying, you have been fooled. You did not follow the rule. And and this is, but it is also good on his part, Badali, because finally he accept his mistake, And Buddha always says that some people who accept their mistake is wise, right? So it's okay, we do sometimes mistake, but Buddha says you have to accept the mistake, our foolishness or whatever, because we are all human being. We are not enlightened, right? Enlightened means when we are totally perfect, our mind is perfect. Till then, we will always make some mistake, right? So Buddha is saying that see, you have not thought that oh, Buddha knows my mistake, and I am not trying to for the 3 month, entire 3 month, So is telling that you need to have some kind of we call it some kind of a shame, in the sense. It's a very kind of a healthy shame. There is a healthy shame that it is not good for me, to be in a bad book of Buddha, as in a record. So also he says there are many bhikkhus in this avati, many bhikkhunis, and so also many upasakas, upasikas, people, and also other religious sadhus and brahmins and sannyasis and all of that. So you did not think about it. So Buddha is telling that you should be concerned about your reputation. So it is. So what he's trying to say here is to be concerned about your own reputation, right? So you need to have a good reputation, So it is important because that way you will have goodwill from the people, and you will have love and and kind and support from people. So he was not concerned about that. So he was in some way very full. It's like, I don't care, that kind of attitude, right? I don't care, something like that. So you're not concerned about other people as well, because some way, in some or other way, you are creating a kind of a dissatisfaction, within the community, right? So then Buddha said, "What do you think, Badali? Suppose a bhikkhu here were one liberated in both ways, and I told him, 'Come, bhikkhus, be a plank for me across the mud.' Would he walk across himself, or would he dispose his body otherwise, or would he say no? No, Venerable Sir. What do you think? Suppose bhikkhu here, one liberated by wisdom or body witness, attend to view, liberated by faith, Dhamma follower, faith follower, and told him, Badali, what do you think? Well, on that occasion, one liberated in both ways, or liberated by wisdom or body witness, or one attend to view, or one liberated by faith, or a Dhamma follower, or a faith follower. Badali, on that occasion, were you not empty, hollow, or mistaken? Yes, Venerable Sir. Venerable Sir, a transgression overcame me. In that, like a fool, confused and blundering, when a training precept was being made. So here what Buddha is saying is that, somebody who is liberated, somebody who is liberated by wisdom, or different ways here Buddha is mentioning, right? Maybe they are called the Arahant, or Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, different people, when you are liberated, because as you practice spirituality, you achieve, different level of freedom, within your heart. So Buddha is mentioning all of that. So you have not thought about all of that, right? So you have just did your own mistake. So in the same way, Buddha is again telling him about that, and then he says that. But there is some bhikkhus does not fulfill the training in the teacher dispensary. Consider, suppose I were to retreat to a secluded resting place, the forest, the root of a tree, or a mountain, a ravine, a hillside, cave, a charnel ground, a jungle thicket, an open space, a heap of straw. Perhaps I might realize a superhuman state, a distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the Noble One. He resorts to such a secluded resting place. While he lives thus withdrawn, the teachers ensure him wise companion in the holy life who have met in investigation censured him, God censured him, and he censured himself. Being censured in this way by the teacher, by wise companion in the holy life, by gods, and by himself, he realizes no superhuman state, no distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the Noble One. Why is that? That is how it is with one who does not fulfill the training in teacher dispensation. So what Buddha is saying here is that even though you may, somebody may go to some forest or a tree or a mountain or a hill or a jungle or seclusion, basically you are totally secluded and you are doing meditation, right? But if you do not follow certain what we call shila, then you will not get progress in meditation, right? So why it is important here is that sometimes we think that, okay, I just meditate, then things will be all right. We think that I just meditate for maybe every day, everything will be okay. But it is not possible, because if you don't follow what we call shila, which means discipline. If you don't follow discipline or shila, that is certain restraint, certain, of course there is panchashila, then there are other restraint, discipline, a kind of a good way of life, in terms of your speech, action and thought, daily life. Then when you are sitting in meditation, it is not, it won't be good. The meditation won't be very good. You will have a lot of, you cannot meditate. You will have a lot of disturbances, and that's why sometimes people say, that I have some disturbances, I mean, that it is maybe one of the reason. There can be other reason as well, but one of the reason is that you have to have a disciplined life, So that's what Buddha is trying to say here, right? So we cannot just say, okay, I just meditate, everything will be all right. No, it's not going to happen, right? You have to careful about your speech, your action, your behavior, your discipline, your way of life, your activity, your everything, yeah, right? So that's very important for you to be successful in your meditation, to achieve a higher stage of meditation, to have higher peace, higher stability, joy, happiness, clarity, understanding, all of that, height in the meditation. Okay, but then if you do that, then what happens? You achieve different level of meditation called jhanas, and then you can, your mind is very peaceful. Jhanas are what we call dhyana, right? So you achieve a very deep level of serenity and joy and stability and very pure mind, very happy mind. And then you can, through that you can recollect your past life, right? You can see your past life. Many past life you can see yourself, right? You yourself can see your own past life. And when you see your own past life, then you get a lot of clarity about your life, your mind, your thought, your action, and the truth, happiness, everything and then you also are able to, see the other people life as well. How other beings are also, they are born, they die, and they do all kinds of karma. Everything you can see, right? It's not just Buddha. It's all of us also can see that, And when we see that, we get more clarity about our life, what actually our life is, how it works, what is the role of karma, what is the role of karma for our happiness, misery, and how it works, how our mind works. So we get everything by ourselves, And then we see what we see the the anicca, impermanent. We see how everything is changing, and then we are able to see that, and then we get the clarity, and we know the Four Noble Truth, that is what is suffering, and cause of suffering, end of suffering, and the way to end of suffering, which means how we are suffering, right? How we suffer. As we know, everyone go through some kind of suffering, isn't it? So you know the suffering, but suffering in Buddhism is not one thing. It is a larger picture, like birth, as it said, different birth. We are not free from birth. And we don't know what is going to be my next life. But of course, if you lead a good life, then there is quite a bit of certainty. But then with the birth comes aging, sickness, separation, from people, and come in contact with people whom you don't like, and separation, people whom you love, right? So you suffer, that way, and also there are many other things we get attached to, right? Then we suffer, and the cause of suffering is our attachment, and then end of suffering when attachment is gone. So we see all of that, right? When we have a kind of a deep stability of the mind. So it happens, and then our mind understands, and the ignorance is gone. That is why we are suffering, because of our ignorance, right? So we are not suffering because of others, because of anybody, our own ignorance, So this is what Buddha says. And then this Bhaddali, this monk, he again asks the Buddha, "Venerable Sir, what is the cause, what is the reason why they take action against some bhikkhus here by repeatedly admonishing? What is the cause and what is the reason why they do not take such action against some bhikkhus here by repeatedly admonishing him?" So it's a very interesting question. He is asking why in the Sangha, Sangha means like Bhikkhu Sangha, for example, we are a Sangha here. So, we take some action against somebody, but with somebody we don't take action so much, maybe less, with somebody more. Why it is, maybe he wanted to know. So Buddha said, some bhikkhu is a constant offender with many offenses. When he is corrected by the bhikkhus, he prevaricates, leads the talk aside, shows disturbance, hate, bitterness. He does not proceed rightly. He does not comply. He does not clear himself. He does not say, "Let me so act that the Sangha will be satisfied." Because taking account of this matter, think it would be good if the Venerable One examined this bhikkhu in such a way that this litigation against him is not settled too quickly, and the bhikkhus examine that bhikkhu in such a way that the litigation against him is not settled too quickly. So there is some monk, who is very adamant. He be very irritated. And he easily get angry, So that is why the Sangha, the monk, they don't take action against him, and they want the matter to solve slowly, not quickly. But here some bhikkhus is a constant offender, many offenses. When he is corrected bhikkhu, he does not. So there is another person who is always making some mistake, but he is somebody who is not disturbed, doesn't hate, he accepts his mistake, right? So therefore, they try to settle the matter quickly, So there is these two cases. Here some bhikkhus is chants offender without any offense when he is corrected because he... Okay, so it is sometime, there is one category always making mistake, another category sometime making mistake, and within that two category, that is somebody who is get irritated and somebody doesn't get irritated. And then another one, here some bhikkhus progresses by measure of faith and love. In this case, bhikkhus consider thus: friend, this bhikkhu progresses by measure of faith and love. Let him not lose that measure of faith and love, as he may if we take action against him by repeatedly admonishing him. Suppose a man had only one eye, then his friend and companion, his kinsmen and relatives would guard his eye, thinking, let him not lose his one eye. So too, some bhikkhus progresses by a measure of faith and love. Let him not lose that measure of faith and love, as he may if we take action against him by repeatedly admonishing him. This is the cause, this is the reason. Okay, so the third kind of category is somebody who has some faith, shraddha, and love, metta. So, who has, so it's like, for some people, we have to, give rise to faith and metta, shraddha and metta, because it's like somebody who has only one eye, right? So, we think that, this person has only one eye, so we should not lose this one eye, right? So if we do something, he may lose the another eye. So, like that, we think that for some people, we see they're making mistake, but then we show some, faith and love, and by that they can grow, right? So, something like that. So we have to have faith and love, right? So, which means that we are trying to. This is something, of course, can be applied not just in the monk but in your family as well. That sometimes we should not always try to correct people always, because that will be difficult sometimes. So you have to show some love and trust, and so gradually, slowly, people will change, so we have to think like that, So this is the cause. So Buddha is saying this is the cause, this is the reason. So then Buddha gives another very interesting simile, and the simile is a horse trainer, So what Buddha says is that, Badali, suppose a clever horse trainer obtains a fine thoroughbred colt. He first makes him get used to wearing the bit. While the colt is being made to get used to wearing the bit, because he is doing something that he has never done before, he displays some contortion, writhing, and vacillation. But through constant repetition and gradual practice, he becomes peaceful in that action. So Buddha is giving the example of a horse, So first of all, a colt, a young horse. So very nice horse, but how you start a horse trainer, first give the bit, this in the mouth, the bit, and then slowly, but when you give that horse the bit first, it resists, it doesn't like it. So, but you do it anyway, again and again and again. And slowly, the horse get used to that. Then what you do, then you put next you put further makes him act in keeping in step, running circle, galloping, charging. So all this different thing that, after the cult, they put the harness and then other thing, right? So gradually one by they put this thing, harness, this seat. Then train him in how to sit, how to run, how to move like this, move like that, run fast, slow, all of that. So slowly, but in every step, the horse will display some irritability. It will show some resistance. But the horse trainer slowly do that, and then eventually they become great. So too Baddali, when a bhikkhu possesses 10 qualities, he is worthy of gift, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offering, worthy of reverential salutation, and unsurpassed field of merit for the world. What are the 10? Here Baddali, a bhikkhu possesses the right view of one beyond training, the right view of one beyond training, the right speech of one beyond, so also right livelihood, right for basically the eightfold path, right action, right mindfulness, right concentration, and right liberation. So in the same way, a bhikkhu, a monk who has the right eightfold path, right understanding, right view, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right concentration. So there is this 8 plus 10 plus right deliverance. So when you have all these things, then the bhikkhus become trained like the horse. The horse who is worthy of a king, the king's service, or considered one of the factors of a king. So when that horse from the childhood nicely trained, then it becomes a very much strong, a very much trained. In the same way, we bhikkhus or even all normal people can train by eightfold path. Right? As I mentioned here, right, which is basically your speech, as I mentioned earlier, your action, and your including your profession, right, and meditation, and then understanding by listening to Dhamma. So when you do all of that, you also slowly become trained like the horse. But just like the horse in the beginning, in the course of training, the horse shows a lot of resistance. In the same way, our mind also shows a lot of resistance. When we try to change our mind, no, it doesn't want to change, right? We want to speak good, act good, do good, think good, kind, compassionate, listen to Dhamma, meditation. Oh, no. The mind just doesn't like it, because it is not habituated. It is something new, So this is how it is, right? So we train the mind through the eightfold path. So, which means we have to anyway do it, because in this case, we are in some way trainer ourselves, because we don't have a trainer. Horse has a horse trainer, but we don't have a trainer. So we have to train ourselves, because we want to be free. We want to free ourselves, right? So that is the reason, So we, I think it's okay. Sometime we don't like, right? We don't like the training. Our monks, your experience, no? Sometimes you don't like to wake up in the morning, isn't it? I have to call you sometime, isn't it? Yeah. So, so also everyone, right? So there is a resistance, just like the horse. We are all horse, like a new horse or a different level of training, right? So it's very important. Training is very important. So you have to train yourself. We have to train ourselves. Nobody can train us. We have to train, you know. So training is very important. No magic, no instant, no sudden miracle, It's all training. It's all training. And just like any training, it's not comfortable, it's not pleasant sometimes. We don't like it, we don't want it, So that's how it is. And it is what it is. So but we know that there is some benefit, with the training. We will see that is one of the thing, right? We will see some benefit when we train ourselves, when we achieve some level of training, So it's a gradual. You gradually training yourself, slowly, right? So we should not be irritated. We should not feel down. We should anyway train ourselves. So this is what the Buddha spoke, and Bhaddali became quite disciplined monk then, and so here we can see one of the important. This sutta starts with the food, so you can start with some discipline in the food. Try to eat, say, as early as possible for you, especially the dinner. So don't eat too late in the night, not healthy for yourself. In other sutta, Buddha also mentioned. So, you can, morning time, whatever it is, breakfast or lunch, try to eat more, and in the noon time, evening time, night, no, but evening, okay, but light, as light as possible, and then that will really make some difference. As Buddha mentioned, it gives you energy, you feel good. And yesterday I met one person. I mean, he comes quite often. So he was saying that he practiced this 2-time eating for 2 weeks, and he was telling, "Oh, I'm feeling very energetic. I feel good." Right. So I think food is a very important thing we see, and also what we see in this teaching is to be open to correction, right? So we should be open to any correction. We should not be too adamant, right? So we must remember that we are not still enlightened. So mistake will happen, or our mind will resist. So we should be aware of that, and we should do our best to correct ourselves. If somebody is correcting us, try, especially elders, parent, or sometimes even friend also, we should take those things in a more positive way, so that we can keep our sorry. We can keep our ego aside, because if there is an ego, then it's a big problem for us. So we have to keep the ego, and then that ego can spoil our peace, our relationship. So that's why it is very important. In Metta Sutta, Buddha mentioned about open to correction, right? So that's something we can see here. And the importance of Shila, discipline, for a successful meditation, and that is something we see. And then we also see that a deeper meditation can lead us to to freedom, to understanding, to have clarity, right? And then eventually the importance of training, just like the horse trainer, and like that we see in the sutta. So a lot of things to take away, a lot of things to understand from this sutta. So with this, I conclude. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.